this is going to be a short day because today is actually Thursday. And I was recording on Monday and Tuesday, but I didn't like the way that I was vlogging, so I'm just gonna go ahead and restart the entire thing. Man, today was not a good day, particularly with my other homeroom. Their attitude towards learning, their energy towards learning, it's just completely different from my homeroom. My homeroom in the morning is so active. They're participating, they're listening. I barely have to like restate the question or like, you know, restate the directions. But the other class, it's like consistently more times I have to I have a little bit of problem with them like shouting out a little bit, not as much as my homeroom, so I'm confused as to why I'm having a little bit of trouble with them. But I'm just really exhausted. But today I will say that it was a lot better. Tuesday was a good day. Monday, I don't know if it was like the first day of the week, but they were off on Monday. I did build up a little bit more excitement today, especially in my homeroom. Again, like my other class, they just didn't really find it as engaging as I thought they would. But I did use my little cow. I did show this on my vlogs from last year. I got this when the class went on the field trips. And basically, I was literally just throwing it like a hot potato, and whoever had the cow had to answer the question. I'm just making sure it's a little kid. So this was a little bit more engaging to them. In terms of my room, it's a friggin' disaster. I always keep saying that, but guys, it really truly is. Yesterday, we had open house from 4 to like 5:45. Like my last parent came at 5:40, and they were just, it was crazy. A lot of Spanish. I was sweating. I was like going from place to place to place, and it was just crazy. The only thing that really does suck, I guess, is that my co-teacher does not speak any Spanish, so unfortunately I do have to be the one that speaks all of the Spanish to the Spanish speaking parents, and even I'm not completely fluent, so I do have a little bit of trouble with that. It's been actually 2 times where I locked myself out of my classroom because I leave my keys on my desk and then I close the locked door. So I feel kind of bad for the custodian because she has to unlock it. And I keep saying, I'm so sorry, but she lets me just come in and no problem at all. We have a good relationship, and that is one thing that I do hear consistently from a lot of teachers is be friends with your custodian, because they really do handle the school so much. Like, they will make your life so much easier if you guys are friendly with them. You don't have to be friends with them, but at least, like, you know, be acquaintances, good acquaintances. So that is another tidbit that I do recommend. This week we did learn Unit 1, Week 2, which is informational text, and let me tell you guys, it's like the most boring story ever. It's about like Mars and aliens, and you would think that it would be entertaining, but it's not. It's like microbes, like really more science-y type of a reading. Like, I feel like it definitely does not entertain the kids. Like, I don't think one kid was entertained by the story. But I did break it up because the selection is like 20 minutes long compared to like 10 or 12 minutes long. So first of all, it's boring. Second of all, it's a long story. Third of all, it has a lot of complex vocabulary like microbes and like rovers, like rover names. So I just don't like it. That's why I don't like using my view a lot. But I do want to say that for the first time, here it is. Here's the one that I use. I have so many reading comprehension books and like grammar books that I absolutely love everything, but this is the one that I use today. They're a little bit more stories, but I love it because it has everything, like read for details, it has main ideas. The one that we use today, because this week we are learning about text structure, so like the 5 chronological order, sequencing, cause and effect, problem and solution, and I can't remember the other one, but the one that we did was about cooking, and so obviously they had to read the story and then they had to put them in sequence order. So I really did love it because sequencing is a big part of text structure, so that is what they're learning this week, as well as more text features. I think they're really good with text features, especially just the basic ones. Later on throughout, obviously, the school year, we're gonna have to dive more deep into more text features, but for right now they definitely do have the basics like photograph, caption, sidebar, illustration, title, heading. They know what that is. Even like my lowest kid, they have a really good concept of it, so I'm really great for that. I do have some kind of not disturbing news, but I realize how much work goes into being a teacher, because I have 4 students that I want to recommend for RTI, or kind of like, it's not special ed, but it's like 504 accommodations, because what they're showing me right now is definitely not grade level, but there's something else that they need help with. It's not just small groups, it's not just interventions, it's something more that they need help with. So I did bring it up to the diagnostic of our district, and she said go ahead and start the paperwork online. And I looked at it, I logged on. Oh my goodness, it's like thousands of paperwork, like this, and you have to have all that data. Right now I have it in this black folder, all of my 4 kids. Obviously I won't show you, but these are the 2 from my homeroom, and then these are the 2 from the other class. But pretty soon that's gonna get filled up if I have to collect everything from what they have done. I mean, I'm a little scared. I've never done it before. I have never entered anybody into the RTI process, so I'm gonna have to talk with the testing coordinator or like somebody that can help me, because we did have a training on it, but it's just so much information that I want to make sure I'm doing it correctly and not mess up anything, because if I do mess up, that can cause a child to, you know, have delays or, you know, not be able to get what they need. So other than that, behavior has been going really well. My expectations are really high. We did have some problem. Oh, for example, today we actually had one of our emergency take action event. I thought they were going to do a fire drill. I thought they were going to do another lockdown. No, we did evacuate. Oh my goodness, it wasn't a disaster, but it was just like cramped. So evacuate basically means we take the entire school and we leave the building, not even in the parking lot, I'm talking about like out the school grounds. So we basically had to stop traffic, like completely block it on this side, block it on this side. You should have seen the traffic that was blocked up. I mean, it was crazy because it's a busy road where we live in, or where we work at. Go across the park, because there's a park across from us, and go all the way inside the park because it's a big park. Oh my goodness, it probably took like 20 minutes for everyone to get out. Like the little ones thought we were going on a field trip, like everybody was jumping crazy. The big ones obviously knew that, okay, it's an evacuation, we got to get out, but the little ones had completely no idea what the heck was going on. I mean, it was just absolutely insane. But what I do is I have partners, because I don't want one long line. That's what I recommend. If you guys have like 25 to 30 kids, right now I have 24 and 23, I do partners, and I do it by height order. So like my smallest kids go in the front, and then it increases in height. And I like that just because the ones in the back can obviously see, and the ones in the front can obviously see the front. So I just like that a lot better than, you know, mixing it up like boy and girl, or however way, you know, other options are there. But and normally they do great with their partners, like when we go to the restroom, when we go to lunch, when we walk in the hallway, they do great. Except today, they did terrible. I gave them an F. And I tell them everything's so great, everything's so great. How you walk, how you talk, everything's so great. They literally got, you know, not excited, but they were like, oh man, we gotta do this. They're 5th graders, so they know like that we do this for safety. But they're like, okay, so we walk in, and you know, kids, once they start walking and once they're not like, you know, indirect hallways, they kind of start talking. But then they start talking to their friends that's not who their partner, and then they got all mixed up. And I'm just saying, who is your partner? Where's your partner? Where's your partner? They're like, oh, it's right here, it's right here. And eventually I talked to them after the evacuation, and I was like, guys, you have to stay your partner. This is why we do it. You guys have to, you know, continue being your partner. They're like, okay, Miss Blanco. So hopefully next time we will do much better, but if not, we will keep practicing and practicing and practicing until we improve. I am a little bit behind on grading. Currently it's 4:13. I'm a little bit behind. I have no idea what the assignment names are. I have grades though. I feel like right now I'm pretty good on grades. I need a couple more for social studies. Tomorrow is Friday. Oh, they were gonna do their ELA assessment, so I do need to print that out. Thank goodness that I remembered by talking to you guys. They're not gonna take their vocabulary quiz yet, just because we barely wrote that like 2 days ago. So they're gonna take that probably next Wednesday, I'm gonna say. I think that's pretty much it. Like, I can guys show you around my classroom because I know I've been talking for like probably 15 minutes, but I do want to make this just one quick video, so this video will most likely be updated today. So let me go ahead and show you across my room so you guys can see the progress. So here's the state of my desk. I'm just printing my assessment right now. It's just crazy hot mess. This is my 24 file folder little thing. I really do like this. I got this on Amazon if you guys want to have it for yourself. Here's my grade book, because again we did have the evacuation, so we did have to put not clear or clear depending on if we had all of our students. Here's the book that I was telling you guys about. Here are my Ticonderoga pencils, as well as like I do have some Crayola pencils in here as well, just for some special events. Here's my little cow, so I need to put this back in my library. This is just paper, like copy paper, so I'm gonna leave that on there so I can grab it in the morning and make copies. So here's everything I need to make a copy for. It's basically independent and dependent clauses, worksheets, and then more independent. And then here is the story of the week quiz, as well as some word study, some Greek roots, and then we have our spelling with Greek roots, and then we have our assessment, and then that's the answer key. So I do also need to print out like the social studies one that I found during dismissal. I found some great social studies resources for the first Americans and like early American culture, so I need to print that out as well. Here is like case applications. We do have a case program, like after school program, where they do like drama and art and like drums and all that. So those are only accessible for the ones who passed STAR. That's like my curriculum book right there. I got more like open house stuff that I need to give out. Everything else looks pretty good. I did get these back. I finally used them for the first time, which was great. I passed them out on Tuesday. So now my bins are pretty much empty, except for like these missing assignments. But those are pretty much empty. And then what I did is I gave each kid one of these. These are A4 poly or whatever they're called, like pouches. I call them academic pouches for the kiddos. And basically they put in all their graded work in their pouch. They take it home, give it to their mom, and then they leave their work at home, so that way I don't have all of it here, because I really don't want files anymore. I've dealt with that and I just don't want to. I did take out my clipboards, so we will get to use them eventually, but right now we're mostly using the dry erase boards. I do need to find some place where I can store these, and I think I might have a spot. And then here I do have some early finishers. I'm going to introduce these to the kids tomorrow and tell them what the purpose of these early finishers are. Here I have index cards, so again, if the kids want to use these for their vocabulary, for their education, they can come up and grab whatever they need. I did go ahead and I did organize this a little bit more. I do have some t-shirts that I need to give out as well. but I did organize this. So here are my highlighters, my tissues, my paper towels, my erasers, which as you can see they're kind of starting to die out over here, and then of course my beautiful organizer. I did move all of my level readers down here, so I really love this because I do use these, but I use them mostly for tutorials when I have a small amount of kids. And then I have my letter tiles here. This that holds cell phones normally goes on this side. And then here I did use my scissors and my glue because they had an assignment where they had to glue combining sentences together, so that was their homework assignment. So I gave them what they needed, but as you can see I literally have one glue stick, so I do need to buy some more glue sticks on Amazon, or I can ask the parents, but I'm gonna go ahead and just put it on my Amazon wish list if any of you guys want to donate the glue sticks from my Amazon wish list. And this is kind of a hot mess right here, so I need to figure that out, and I need to figure out where to put this little pencil sharpener that I have not used. This is the same thing. I have like an extra one of these, like the dry erase pockets, but I have no use for it right now. I have plenty. I meant to grab one, not two, but it's okay. I can obviously use it for a lot of things. I still don't know what to do with these. I keep telling I'm gonna take it home, but I never do. I need to change the date on the board. I did go ahead and I did change my cover page, the genre, the label, and then ELA or objective, the vocabulary words, spelling words. Here's the objective. That's the essential question. The writing objective, social studies objective, and then language and conventions and word study. But other than that, here's how my room is looking like. Oh, by the way, I took that one down just because it was a duplicate of that one right there. But I do want to mention that I'm so glad that I bought this, because honestly, these kids have a hard time last year staying on level 0. But as soon as I tell them, excuse me, what voice level are we on? They say 0. And I point to the actual thing, and they know. They cannot tell me, oh, Miss Blanco, I didn't know what voice level we were in. They will tell you that. They will say, oh, I didn't know what voice, I thought we were on level 1. Don't let them fool you. So that I love, because as soon as I turn that on, and if they're talking and I point to that, they know they're in the wrong, because they're supposed to be at level 0. So, and I don't make them on level 0 too much, just like in the morning, especially during dismissal. Like, I cannot have them talk during dismissal or they will go wild. It's like dismissal is like the craziest part of the year or the day. And if they're not quiet, they will go nuts. And already the pick my kid dismissal is already nuts. Let's not add talking on top of that. So that's one thing that I am so glad I started doing since the first day of school, is no talking during dismissal. Like, absolutely none. They know what to do. I say, okay, it is silent dismissal time. They know what to do. They know they got to go back to their seats. They know they can still like play on the smart boards, and not smart board, but like whiteboards, and they know they can still draw and color. They can have that, but they cannot talk. A lot of people are smart. They actually take the whiteboard and they actually like write on the whiteboard, like saying what they want to say. I'm like, I don't care what you do as long as you stay quiet. But I'm still monitoring. But so far it's been really good. They've been listening, and I really don't have any behavior problems, nothing at all. And I'm so grateful, because last year I had a ton of behavior problems with my co-teacher. So this year I'm really super grateful that it's more academic problems than behavior problems. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna end this vlog before it's like 30 minutes long, and I'm gonna edit it. I'm going to upload it, and then you guys will be able to see what my week was like, even though I only filmed one day, and I did film Monday and Tuesday, but I just didn't like how I recorded. I just felt like it wasn't in detail. And again, let me guys know what you want to see in my weekly vlogs. Is it more things like what kind of materials I'm using, or is it kind of things like how I do things? So let me know, guys, and I will try to do my best to provide that for you guys. I'll see you guys later. See you next week.